There we go. Alright, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully the performance will be a lot better here. I've lowered the bitrate down to 3500, so we should be good for the rest of the race. I don't know why it was set at 6000, but thank you very much, your Jewish fantasy, for the help. Appreciate it. Regardless, let's get back to the qualifying now that we have these technical problems sorted out. Currently, Lowy holds the top time here with a 1:34.188 as he's currently out in his lap. Never mind, I take that back. Rubber is now currently the pole sitter with a 1:34.116, but Lowy is putting his foot to the floor as he comes around towards the front stretch to see if he can match that time or even better pass it. And he doesn't. Still a 1:34.188 as his best. Beatsma is about half a second behind with Cantu at a 1:34.271. Probably screwed up your name. I'm so sorry about that. Weber and Juan Manuel Gutierrez are both on their out laps. Cantuna, okay. Cantuna, meanwhile, is up to P4 with a 34.271. With Rubber, Weber, and Manuel on their out laps, Lowy just manages to push it up slightly better with a 0.056 difference. Yes, GT quali is already done. We're on to the LMP quali now. Let's ride on board with our current back-end sitter, Juan Manuel Gutierrez, who's coming around the front stretch. Even with that, it does not improve his time. He's still at a 1:35.136. Lowy, meanwhile, is improving his pace, cutting down to a 4.62. I just realized I haven't had the info turned on this whole time, so I apologize for that. You'll be able to see the quali sector times now. Lowy makes a huge improvement in Sector 2 as he's coming towards the front stretch to cross the line. That'll probably put him ahead, especially with that much of a difference, but Rubber is right behind him. Lowy's up to first place with a 34.067, Rubber behind with a 34.116. If we're lucky, we might be able to get it down to below the 133 range. But it's all about hopes and dreams, baby. Hopes and dreams. Beatsma and Gutierrez slightly improved their times by 200ths and 300ths of a second respectively, while Cantuna and Weber are both on their out laps, so we won't be able to get much results on that so far. But currently, it is a hard fight for the top three drivers here: Lowy, Rubber, and Beatsma, and Cantuna. Lowy, meanwhile, is continuing to lower his time, so we're probably going to be looking here at a sub 134 as we ride on board. Simo Dalby joins the pack at the back with a 136.456. Hopefully he can improve on that time. Lowy currently is approaching Sector 2 as he is lowering his times as he cuts through the corners here. 0.005 through Sector 2. Hopefully he can do purple in Sector 3. Now, if you've been with us and you've been with Assetto friends for a while, you guys know... I'm sorry, not you guys. I'm screwing this up. I'm so sorry. If you've been with Assetto friends for a while, you know that Lowy has the quali pace as he just brings it down to a 133.7 and smashes everything as we're coming into the final few minutes. I don't think anyone's going to be able to beat that time, so good on you, Lowy. Meanwhile, we're going to switch on board to Rubber, who is going to try contesting that time. Now, of course, Rubber is currently the LMP1 leader after taking first place at Road America previously. The McLaren team will be very happy with that result. Unfortunately, he's not doing good so far with a yellow in Sector 1. Hopefully he can purple Sectors 2 and 3 to compensate. Now here comes Rubber through the bus stop as he goes green in Sector 2. Hopefully he can purple Sector 3 as he gets a little bit squirrely through the bus stop. Now coming around turns 11 and 12 as he comes towards the front stretch. All you can hear is the sound of that lovely LMP whine as he comes around the front stretch across the finish line. And that puts him slightly higher with a 34.624, but it's not really enough. As we're coming down to the final minute, as the sun is beginning to go down, Juan, Manuel, Gutierrez, and Rubber are currently the ones out right now, with Cantuna, Beatsma, and Weber all on their out laps, including Dalby. I keep forgetting this poor man. I'm so sorry. You know what? To compensate for that, let's ride on board with Dalby as he goes for his lap. Now Dalby is representing the Poor Energy Racing in the very nice space-themed Orica 07. He'll be on top with Lucas Weber here. Thank you, J-Boz MNSS, for the follow. Appreciate it. As Dalby comes around. Now he has just a little bit of time to do his qualifying laps. He's coming down to the final 10 seconds to begin. And here we go. This is probably one of the last laps here to do the qualifying. Lowy continues to go purple in his sectors, lowering his times frequently. I don't think it's going to be pretty hard to beat that 133 as Lowy goes to a 133.332. Which dares me to ask the question, will we see a sub 133? I doubt it. And yes, Juan Manuel Gutierrez, you are right. He did just beat the IRL record for this track. So congratulations, Lowy. Dalby, meanwhile, seems to be having a bit of a tough time as he continues to try his qualifying. With the sun just setting below the horizon, we're getting ready for another good endurance race ahead of us as Dalby comes through the bus stop. Unfortunately, he's still going yellow in sectors 1 and 2. Not sure if he's going to be able to improve on that. Probably not, but never say never, as he's going to be the last person to qualify. And here we go towards the front stretch. Foot to the floor. Can he make any improvement on his time? He cannot, going a 136.241, and that is the end of qualifying. The top of the board, we have Lowy on pole position for the LMP1, and we have, let's see here, Jack Oliver for pole position on the GT2 class. Now, while we're in transition from qualifying to race pace, we're going to run a quick advertisement here, so stick around. You know, it might help actually transition back to the broadcast, wouldn't it? Anyways, as we're just going to wait here for our racing setup here. Like I said, this is the current standings. Lowy on top of pole position, taking an astounding, record-breaking 1 minute 33.33. And Jack Oliver leading the pack with a 1 minute 44.496. Now these cars will be on different strategies, different fuel load setups and what have you, but it should be a great race as we go in today. Now, with a lower amount of LMP cars, it is going to make it a little harder for them to go through the pack when they eventually start blue flagging. But regardless, oh wow, what are they doing all the way back there? Oh dear. Well. Gee, what are they doing back there? Oh well, we'll just leave it as is. Anyways, hello again. It's me. Don't worry, Robert, you should feel good that you had provisional pole position. Don't think of it as a blessing or a curse. You did your best. Yeah, these cameras, man. We'll get up there. We'll get up there. Hold on, I think I'm actually configured for the wrong thing. Alright, well, while this timer's going down, you get to see me play with the camera. That's the great thing about this stuff, so, yeah. How you guys doing today? You doing good? I'm doing good. Are you doing good? While we're doing this, let's take a look at the weather conditions here. 25 degrees with a track temperature of 36. Winds are calm with 0 across the board. Track surface currently is at an optimum 101%. So, you know, that'll be nice. Anyways, here's the board here. Lowy, once again, pole position. Number of drivers are between the medium and the soft compounds, although pretty much everyone on the LMP grid is on the medium compound. Meanwhile, in the GT2, it's a more mixture of soft and medium compounds. We're looking at a great 2 hours ahead of us for this race, and hopefully it'll be a fun race. I'm not sure why the timer is so long, but, you know, it is what it is. Alright, with 1 minute to go, the drivers will be underway for their rolling start, and I think I have the perfect music for this. Give me a second. You can hear some nice keyboard ASMR, courtesy of my keyboard. Alright, so here we go. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Rolling Stone!
And here they come with the rolling start. And we are go with the green flag as Lowy comes off with a lightning start. The lightning start leading the pack here as they all continue on through. These LMP cars, they're really... Oh, hold on. We got someone going wide already. That is Rubber going wide. And a lot of people going wide. I don't know why. Interesting. Wonder what that was about. That was interesting. Anyways, Lowy leads the pack with Cantuna right behind him. Redacted and Wilson trading places along with Costa and By Mythic trading places once again as they snake through the fields here. Coming towards the corners, towards the back stretch as Dalby brings up the read of the pack. Oh no, that's iRedacted. iRedacted has gone into the wall, and that throws him back to the end of the line. I wonder what the issue there was. I hope it wasn't anything serious. Oh dear, off to a crash already. Hopefully it won't bring out the safety car. Meanwhile, Weber and Gutierrez are trading places for 4th place, as I don't know if they touch, but Rubber decides to sneak through regardless. That is Rubber, Gutierrez, and Weber, who are all trading places here towards the front stretch as they cross the finish line. As they brake hard into the first corners. We're right on board with Gutierrez here as he's going to try to outbrake Weber into the corner. I don't know if they touched there, but he is passed. Weber, meanwhile, staying on the rear as BD 1999 seems to be having some issues. Or he just sort of fell down as he's trading places here with TC Gaming in the Scirocco's as the 2 Corvettes of Miguel Costa and Jake Wilson are right on their tail, along with some more. This is proving to be quite an interesting race, even though we're only, I think, maybe 2 minutes in. And already we're having some great wheel-to-wheel action, which is great for a circuit like Daytona. As Mythic and Wilson are all sort of fighting for position here. We'll ride on board with Jake Wilson as he's being tailed by Senil Nike. I apologize if I pronounced your name incorrectly. As him and the Ryanair Corvette is doing his best to trail and get some speed off of the Corvette ahead of us. He's going for the pass on Mythic, and he completes it. He's ahead of him going into the bus stop as they clip the apex, and that is Mythic going wide, but still holding his position somehow. Hang on. Looks like we may have a safety car already. It looks like it. Not good at all. So it seems that currently we have a safety car event. Was unable to catch what caused said safety car event, but hopefully, as always, I hope it's nothing serious. Oliver still currently leads the GT2 pack, along with Lowy leading the LMP pack. Virtual safety car ending in 10 seconds here before we go green flags, so stand by for some high speed. And the safety car ended, that is green flag. We are full speed again. Redacted, meanwhile, is doing his best to lower the gap that he has, most likely caused by the safety car, as he is lowering that gap by going as fast as humanly possible. I forgot to put the info box up again, so forgive me for that. Yeah, Costa is definitely in a league of himself, going from 20th to 14th place in just these few opening races, so it should show some performance as we continue on. Hopefully we'll be able to get an interview with Costa when he's in for his pit. Maybe ask him about what his strategy is, as Cantuna goes ahead of Lowy here to take first place, with Rubber ahead of Weber, and Lowy ahead of Tuna, and Weber ahead of Delby. See, the LMPs are really in the league of themselves. Meanwhile, Costa is holding up a long train of GT2 cars behind him as TC Gaming is looking to go for the pass. He's thinking about it. He might break it late. He might. He does not. As Costa goes for the bus stop, TC Gaming staying right on his tail throughout. Oh, hold on. We got a crash. We got a crash. Jake Wilson, meanwhile, in the Corvette has seemed to have spun out and hit the wall. That'll put him almost in last place, with Iredacted coming right on his tail to take back, so he doesn't have to be in last place. He's putting his foot to the floor to catch up with him. Let's see if it'll come off. Or pull off, excuse me. He's lowering that gap, but it might not be enough to get him out of last place, so hopefully he'll have to do some clever pit stop strategies in order to fix that, but that's neither here nor there. Meanwhile, let's ride on board with our current leader, Loey, as he's doing his... Actually, no, I got a better idea. We'll ride on board with Cantuna, and we'll follow him in the cockpit as he tries his best to stick right behind Loey. Loey and Cantuna, these are definitely going to be the people to look after during the race here. These two are definitely going to be trading punches throughout. But Rubber is still a force to be reckoned with, even if Loey has set the fastest qualifying time. You may be able to set a fast qualifying time, but it's all about your strategy that really pays off in the end. Or at least in my opinion it does. I could be wrong. Regardless, Tuna is going to pull out every trick in the book to get past Loey here, even in these first few laps. Now, remember, these are identical cars, but really it's down to just the setup and the strategy. These are all key things in the performance, as he seems to be... Nope, almost getting past him, but not close enough. So switch to the outside view. Tuna's getting a good launch off of trailing Loey as he's using that boost to get around him. It might not be enough as they approach the back straight for the bus stop. And they go hard on the brakes, turning through the curbs here, coming through the bus stop and back onto the corners towards the front straight. Loey, Cantuna, and Beetsma are all sort of in a league of their own. It seems Labiak and Axelson were in some sort of issue here, probably nothing serious. As we check in with our little pack of Corvettes here. You gotta love the nice buzzing sound of the Corvette's exhaust. It's kind of like a swarm of angry bees or hornets. Interestingly, there is a mixture of drivers who prefer to have their lights on and some that have their lights off, but what's really going to matter is that they have their lights on when it gets dark. It's not dark right now, but it'll get dark. Let's give it time. As we're coming around the corners towards the back straight towards the bus stop, as we're still on board with Axelson here, just to give him you know, just whatever. Anyways, Wilson seems to have got himself down into last place as Rubber is going for the pass on the two of them. And he completes the pass, going past the back markers here. As more of the LMP cars are approaching the back markers, as Rubber feeds through the bus stop. Hang on, hang on. That looked like Jake Wilson either being hit or doing some sort of braking action here. That has messed up the two poor energies of Simo Dalby and Lucas Weber here. Might be a steward's inquiry on that. Loey has set the fastest lap with a 1:35.106. Cantuna right behind, followed by Beetsma, Rubber, Dalby, and Weber. Gutierrez, meanwhile, getting stuck behind the back marker of I Redacted as they navigate towards the horseshoe here. He's going to have to pass the two Scirocco's of I Redacted and X Hunter to get ahead. It's more or less if they'll show him the space or close them the door. He's got past one, now he's going to get past X Hunter. He might be able to outbrake him. Nope, Hunter seems to have closed the door on him for some reason, and in that case, he has also made himself go wide here. Not exactly a sportsmanlike move here, but it's no matter. Jack Oliver, meanwhile, is improving his time very slowly but surely as he's been going purple. He does have quite a significant lead over the rest of the GT2 cars, which was probably helped by that safety car, or incident or whatever, as he has an 8.5 second lead, 8.7 over Josh Brooks, 8 seconds behind, with Ricardo behind on Brooks. So Jack Oliver more than likely will have this race done for him if he doesn't make any mistakes during the pit stop or whatever strategy he's on. But we'll see as things go on. Dalby and Gutierrez, meanwhile, trading punches here as they're navigating through the back markers. That might have been a touch by Gutierrez as he's trying to navigate past the back markers without hitting them. He's doing his best here. He might get the door closed on him by that Scirocco. Yeah, Miguel Costa is not giving him any space whatsoever, unfortunately, but with the wide turn there, they'll be able to just slide around. More than likely, I'm certain that this blocking or closing the door is not intentional whatsoever. It might just be server-wise, but it's what it looks like to me, so forgive me if I'm getting this wrong and making me look like the bad guy. Continuing on, Lowy, our race leader, coming into the first corner here as Cantuna's right on his tail, followed by Beatsma right behind. These are the top three as they're approaching some more back markers here, riding on board as they're coming towards Josh Brooks, who is second in the GT2s right now. Hopefully Brooks will be a kind gentleman and give him the door. He does give him the door. He's through. Meanwhile, he seems to be giving a little bit of block to Cantuna, even though he goes through. Beatsma possibly getting the pass. He does get the pass. Well, it seems like TC Gaming's in a bit of an issue here, as they're trading punches with another one of the Scirocco's as iRedacted goes by here. Meanwhile, Gutierrez takes back P6 from Dalby. Labiak, meanwhile, is in a fight of his own against Sanil Naik as he has put all four wheels off the ground for the bus stop. Might be server-wise, though, as he's going to do his best to get some slipstream behind Naik as we're coming towards the front stretch here. It may be enough, it might not be. We'll just have to see as time goes on. Especially with the GT2s, they're going to have to be trying every trick in the book to get around the drivers. Even though they may have a slightly offset performance difference, it's still enough to negate being able to pass or get around. The only big performance difference is just between classes, not between cars, really. Anyone can win. Everyone can win. Maybe. Meanwhile, going back up with our front runners here, Cantuna keeping up a good slipstream behind Lowy, but Might not be enough to get the slipstream to get around him, as Beatsma is falling behind with almost a minute and a half, not minute and a half, sorry, second and a half gap behind him. As from our commentary box, we can see that the sun is beginning to set here in the distance, so it should make for some interesting stuff. As the sun goes down, the lights come out. Now it seems the Cantuna actually gets pretty close to Lowy on the curves, and once in the straights there's a gap that forms, so we might see a bit of an advantage here in the corners. I love these cars are kicking up some nice sparks as they race to the bus stop here. Very nice indeed. Meanwhile, Tuna has closed the gap to about 0.02 of a second, closing 100th, 1/60th. As he's got the slipstream to go around and just looks to slightly getting past. He sets the fastest lap with a 34.667 as he is now up into first place, but not for long as Lowy takes the spot back. And just as I say that, he still has a spot. Yeah, well. Anyways, Lowy and Cantuna is going to be the battle we're going to be taking a good look at as this race progresses throughout the day. Meanwhile, while that race is going on, let's move down to our buddy Daniel Ricciardo, who is currently P10 in the Volkswagen Scirocco, right behind Josh Brooks, as he has a bit of a comfortable lead for himself throughout. Moving on, Beatsma has set a faster lap with a 34.772. I'll be a force to be reckoned with here. Meanwhile, BD1999 has the two Ryanair Corvettes right on his tail as the darkness is beginning to settle in here. Nike and Buzio are in a race of their own here, the two competing Ryanair Corvettes. Buzio is getting some slipstream, and he might be able to use that to his advantage to get past his teammate here as they go into the first corner, but it doesn't look like it's enough as BD1999 goes wide, and that is a hit right there as 1999 spun around. Hopefully he'll be able to back out without hitting anyone there. That is going to cost him a little bit of time, unfortunately, but hopefully he'll be able to make that up. That was a terrible crash, but probably just a racing incident, if anything, to be honest. Continuing on, Lowy with a 134.941 as him and Jake Wilson have been battling, which is giving Cantuna and Beatsma the position, so not good at all. Not good at all. Meanwhile, Tuna now leads with Beatsma right behind, and Lowy is going to have to be... Sorry, not going to have to be. He's going to be fighting back to get the position that he lost thanks to that back marker there. So it should be a good race, especially since we're coming towards the back straight here. We're going to ride on board with the cockpit of Lowy as Beatsma seems to be going wide. That's going to be the advantage that he needs, possibly. Yep, as he goes into P2, passing Beatsma. Tuna dealing with another back marker here, the Scirocco of X Hunter 11. Lowy's closing in Beatsma. It's going to force him to back off. That'll give him the advantage he needs to get past the back marker and go through the bus stop, which he does. Tuna, meanwhile, is getting caught up in the two back markers. Lowy's going to use that to his advantage to get around, and he gets around. As he goes around not only the two other LMP cars, but he's getting around the back markers at the same time. This is quite amazing for Lowy, who has been on fire here, as Brooks is the first one to enter the pits here. Let's see if we can get a quick interview with him. A second. So Josh, quick, oh, thought you were in the pits.
I was. Keep going. It's fine. It's fine.
Okay. Oh, hold on.
Oh shit. Sorry. Ah! He got spooked.
So, anyways, with you coming through the pits, you had quite a comfortable lead in the GT2. Do you think it's going to have any impact on your possible results?
No, this was the plan from the start. Same thing in the road. Come up light, do two full stints to the end. I could have kept up with Jack, I think, but he spun a bus stop. We went side by side. You might have seen it. We went side by side, and then I crashed.
Yeah, I believe I did see that. Yes.
I slowed too far, too much, and just lost the back end.
That's fair enough. Do you think that Jack Oliver is going to be a threat for you in terms of points?
Yes, but not yet, I don't think.
All right, well, thanks very much, and might catch up with you later. Take care.
Cheers.
And that was Josh Brooks of Hines River Racing. Might have pulled him a little early, but, you know, it is what it is. Continuing on, Rubber gets past Cantuna to come up to P3. But will it stay? We'll see, as the two are going to battle here into turn one. It looks to be enough, as he's continuing to hold the position. But will it be enough? That's the real question. Tuna's going to be doing his best to get around here. Whether or not it'll be enough is anyone's guess. As the pink hue of a great sunset comes across us, the darkness will soon be upon us. As the two are coming up towards the back marker, the Scirocco of BD 1999, will he give him the space to get through? He gives the space to Rubber to get through. He gives the space to Tuna to get through as he just slightly pushes him a little wide. No contact whatsoever, though. Meanwhile, further up the grid, Jens, Beatsma, and Lowy are in a little competition of their own as they go into the bus stop here. These two will be fighting it out. As Beatsma just puts a little bit of wiggle through the bus stop. Might be a little bit too much going through as Lowy's approaching one of the Ryanair back markers. Easy, flawless pass here. Not sure if it'll be the same for Beatsma, but it looks like it. Cantona manages to get past Rubber, puts him into P3. Meanwhile, even with that, the gap between Beatsman and Tuna is about 6.7 seconds and climbing. So it looks like these two are pretty much set for where they are right now, but we'll have to see as time goes on. Costa, meanwhile, getting bashed around here as he's fallen, I think, about 2 or 3 places in the Corvette here. It's just not been his race today, unfortunately. Hopefully he'll be able to claw back some points here, as we're only about a half hour into our 2-hour race here. Now with the darkness settling in, it's going to be down to racing by candlelight here, as Lowy and Beatsma have identical times, 1:35.062, which is interesting despite the gap, but no matter. As the two come around the horseshoe, excuse me for yawning, they come around the horseshoe, going past the nice brightly colored Ferris wheel. Meanwhile, a lot of the back markers in the GT2 class are slowly improving their times. You can see their time's been flashing up purple as iRedacted gets ahead of Josh Brooks here. Oh, hold on. Oh, we have a spin or a crash here. Josh Brooks seems to have some sort of issue. That puts him into last place. He's not moving. He seems to be having some sort of incident or issue? What's going on here, buddy? Yeah, well, we don't know what's going on with Josh Brooks, but, okay, he's retiring to the pit lane. Hopefully it's nothing, too bad. Anyways, continuing back to, Lowy here. That is Beatsma in the pits. Beatsma is coming to the pits. Unfortunately, we do not have a... Oh, alrighty. Well, that marks Josh Brooks as our first DNF of this race. Hopefully it wasn't anything serious. Meanwhile, we're going to go to Weber, who's currently entering the pits. We're going to get a quick interview with him, so stick around real quick. So Weber, quick interview with you. You coming in with your first pit. You've been putting up a hell of a race here. How do you think you and Dalby have been getting along so far?
I think quite good. He made space for me earlier after I had some collision with a GT2 who was quite early on the brakes in the bus stop.
Yeah.
So it was quite nice. I am currently faster than him, I think. I've been building a little gap. That's quite good. I think like P5 will probably be the best that I can finish if nothing big happens in the front.
Alright, well thank you very much. We'll let you get back to your race.
Yeah, thank you.
Alright, next one here we'll get Juan Manuel Gutierrez here. So Juan Manuel Gutierrez, a quick race interview with you. How's your performance been so far?
Very bad. I had a moment with Lucas at the start. I got hit on the right under, but overall it is what I expected, to be honest, and not doing that well.
Understandable. With your current strategy seeming that it's following the pace of everyone else, pitting on lap 20, do you think that you might be able to make your stint last a little longer, or are you expecting to pit on lap 40?
Maybe if if I'm able to save fuel, maybe I would be able to take it until lap 21 or maybe 22.
All right. Well, thank you very much for your time. I'll let you get back to your race.
Thank you.
And that was Juan Manuel Gutierrez here, as you can see, driving around. Meanwhile, we have Rubber in the pits here. We'll get him in real quick. So, Rubber, quick race interview with you. With you being our race winner from the previous race, are you expecting to possibly make it 2 wins in a row here?
I mean, not really. Low is in the race, so the chance of me winning is quite small.
Well, even with Lowy in the race, do you still think you have potential to still make it a podium finish, if anything?
Maybe. If I manage to snatch a 3rd place, I would be very satisfied.
Okay. And you have been doing a lot of back and forth with Kaya Cantuna. I don't know how to pronounce his name. Do you think that he's going to be a teammate to look out for during this race?
Yeah, if there would be any 3rd place, then it would probably be from him or from Jens.
Alright, well, thank you very much for your time. I'll let you get back to your race.
Yeah.
And that was Rubber 9, representing the McLaren team. As we continue on, Lowy still has, I'm not sure if he's actually pitted yet, but he's still holding up 1st place. He's holding it down like, holding it down like no one's business. But I think what he's doing is he's bringing himself up to getting a far enough out that with this he can still pit and still have some sort of position ahead of him. I have no idea what I'm talking about. Oh my goodness. It seems that Josh Brooks says not DNF'd, as I said. He is back, but he is going to be 1 lap down. That might be a bit of a factor on what he does continuing on, but Lowy, meanwhile, is still our leader, and Jack Oliver is still our GT2 leader, so even though Lowy may have it done, never say never. It could be anyone's race. As Lowy goes past the back markers here, coming into the bus stop, he's sandwiched between the Scirocco and the Corvette here. He goes past, he's coming towards the back marker, Daniel Ricciardo. He's probably going to get a little bit of slipstream to slip around, and he's passed. Like clockwork. Lowy, meanwhile, Lowy seems to just be running away with this race. I mean, it's still way early to say, but, you know, gotta fill the dead air with something, am I right? But, anyways, the GT2 drivers continue to improve on their times. We get some flashes of purple up on the scoreboard here. Not scoreboard, leaderboard. Cantuna, meanwhile, has a bit of a gap of his own. He is 11 seconds down to Beatsma, but has a 7-second lead on Rubber behind him. Of course, pit stop's a pit stop. It really ain't gonna matter. Meanwhile, Costa's coming in for his pit, so we might be able to get something on him, possibly. Where is he? Oh, he's not pitting. Interesting. I swear I thought it said he was pitting. Wow. Anyways. Excuse me. Gutierrez also has a significant lead, but of course he's already came in for his first round of pits, so that 18-second gap is justified. And it looks like Simel Dalby has had a DNF. Hopefully he might be able to come back. Continuing on, Daniel Ricciardo continues to improve on his time, lowering it to a 1:56.858, which is very good on him. It'll definitely help. But whether or not it'll be enough is anyone's guess as Gutierrez goes around the back markers of iRedacted and By Mythic, the two Scirocco's, as he's slotting in between them to get some slipstream. But it's plenty enough to get through. As it looks like someone's coming into the pits here. That is iRedacted in the pits here with his Scirocco. Seems Hunter had a bit of an issue here as he's just getting back underway now. The reason I keep saying the phrase, hopefully it's nothing serious, I just say that as sort of a way to say that, you know, I hope there's not a big crash, because, you know, that'll bring up the safety car. It's not really safety car, it's more virtual safety car, but you get what I mean. Meanwhile, we'll ride on board with Lowy here as we come into the first couple of corners, coming towards the back marker here of X Hunter 11. As, ooh, no, Lowy's going a little wide. That's going to be a bit of an impact on him. That's going to close the gap for Beatsma. I'm not sure if the two LMPs touch, but that puts Beatsma ahead as he's getting stuck behind the back marker of X Hunter. Oh, they touch! That is a touch. That is a... yeah, that's a touch, as Hunter is spun around by the car of Lowy. Not exactly the best thing you want to see there, but he should have given him some space. With this puts Beatsma up ahead into first place, but Lowy is going to crawl back to grab said lead. Whether or not it'll be enough is anyone's guess. TC Gaming improving his time to a 1:47.639. As Beatsma is coming across the back markers, it's going to be too wide. He might be able to squeeze in through the middle if he lets him. And yep, he's through. Right in between the two Corvettes. Amazing work there by the back markers as Lowy's going to come to possibly do the same thing or just go for a 2 for 2 here. Lowy coming up on Costa and Oliver. He's past Costa. Now he's going to get past our current GT2 leader, Oliver. Hopefully he'll be able to get him through at the Gutierrez horseshoe. And he is. He is in and through. So I have to say, a very good commitment here from the back markers of Costa and Oliver, letting these back markers through, especially Beatsma, who managed to go straight in between the two. I don't think I've ever seen something like that in, well, any sort of form of racing, really. But the question is whether or not it'll be enough. We're going to get a quick interview here with Maddie Labiak. All right, so Maddie, a quick interview with you. How's your race been going so far?
It's been going pretty good, thank you for asking. Just been keeping it clean, keeping it good, and yeah, I'm just gonna keep on going as I am. Gonna aim for 4th, 5th, 6th. I'm not really sure where I am, but just keeping my head down, keeping on racing, and yeah, it's been pretty clean so far. And Yeah, I'll keep it up. Sorry, just mine's in the game, but yeah, thank you for the interview.
No problem. We'll let you get back to it. Have fun.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
That was Matty Labiak. Matty Labiak in the Volkswagen Scirocco, representing the GT2 class. Costa, meanwhile, looks like he's coming in for his actual pit, so we'll get a quick word with him. Give me a second here. So Costa, quick words with you. I have to say, you and the GT2 of Jack Oliver, congratulations on going too wide and letting the LMP through.
Oh, hey, I'm hearing you a bit laggy, sorry.
I was just saying that we were watching the when you were letting the LMP through, he went right between you and the Corvette next to you.
Oh yeah, that incident in the main street.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to call it an incident, sure. I thought it was great, but regardless, despite the fact that you have been more or less towards the back of the line, do you think you can probably crawl back some positions and possibly get higher up?
Oh, I don't know. I think it will depend on the luck, you know. I'm not the fastest guy here, so I mean, it not depends on me. That incident was a bit unlucky.
Understandable.
My tires were like very fucked up after that.
Yeah, it's understandable. Well, anyways, we'll let you get back to the race, and hopefully you can crawl back some positions.
Well, thank you.
And that was Miguel Costa of Scuderia Bocum in the Corvette. Hasn't been having the greatest race, but hopefully he'll be able to crawl back some positions as time goes on. And unfortunately, it looks like our good friend Simo Dalby will not be finishing this race. It's a shame, but sometimes it is what it is. As the next round of pits are coming in here, Jack Oliver is also coming in. We'll oh, he's leaving the pits. Well, I think what we'll do is we'll get an interview with him when he comes in for his next round of pits here. So, continuing on. Meanwhile, up front, Beatsma continues to still hold the lead with a 1.1 second gap on the car behind him as they're going past the cars coming out of the pits. Not exactly a race of attrition. Beatsma's lead sort of was given to him by the incident with X-Hunter, but hopefully whatever happens, it won't be any significant penalties, and hopefully it'll just be a racing incident. But, you know, I'm not a steward. I don't steward. I just talk into a microphone for 2 hours and entertain you. So, I'm not the one who can make the judgment. I do have to say, this track has been pretty fun so far, and I'm quite enjoying the road course. And I think it'd be pretty boring if it was just the oval the entire time, because that would just be slipstreaming. It'd just be NASCAR, but with, oh, look, we got these other cars. Nike is finally coming in for his pit, which shows that he's definitely been carefully nurturing those tires and keeping a good fuel load throughout. So good on him for that. Good on him. Buccio moves up to P8 while Nike's in the pits. More than likely Ricardo will get a pass on him. Buccio, meanwhile, getting caught up by the LMP1 as he goes wide to let him and possibly Lowy through. We'll take a look here. And that is Lowy through on the back marker here as Buccio goes wide. Nice glow from the wheels there, those piping hot brakes. As Lowy goes for the move around Costa, will Costa give him space? Yes, he will. Very good. Lowy, meanwhile, is ever so slowly lowering the gap here, just getting below the 1 second as he's doing what he can to get some sort of slipstream on Beatsma. Oh, sorry. Lowy passing the back marker, going through the bus stop as he's lowering the gap down on Jens down to a 0.67. As Beatsma is gonna go for the pass on another back marker. Josh Brooks in the Scirocco. Lowy's gonna use the slipstream to get around him, and does. Lowy is going to use every trick in the book to get around Jens, however he can, whether it be braking late, braking hard, or doing a little bit and just touching the curb as he's lowering that gap significantly down. He's pretty much right on the tail of Beatsma as they go through this next horseshoe here. No, two LMPs are coming up on another back marker here, but it shouldn't be anything significant. There's plenty of space to get around the Scirocco here, BD 1999. But Jin's going to do everything in his power to prevent Lowy from getting past. But whether it's enough is anyone's guess. Meanwhile, while that's going on, let's take a look at the other close-up between Eric Axelsen and Daniel Ricciardo. Axelsen in the Corvette, Ricciardo in the excuse me, in the Scirocco. Jack Oliver, meanwhile, having quite a significant lead over the other vehicles, so it shouldn't be any issue whatsoever. Daniel Ricciardo and Eric and Axelson as they're coming along the back straight towards the bus stop here. We'll ride on board with Ricardo. Meanwhile, back up front, Lowy has the aerodynamics he needs to get around Beatsman. It looks like it's going to be for the pass, but the problem is with the back marker ahead of him, so it's going to be down to whether or not he can slide past the back marker. As the two are coming up towards Iredacted, Lowy retains the position, but not for long. As Lowy is stuck behind the back marker of Iredacted, that's going to free up a significant gap for Beatsma once again as Beatsma goes soaring ahead. Yes, that was a bit of a grammatic, bit of a linguistic error on my part. I apologize. Regardless, Beatsma is doing everything in his power to keep said lead, and if the race continues like this, he may keep said lead. Lowy, meanwhile, seems to just, unfortunately, keep getting caught up behind back markers, which is costing him quite a significant amount of time, and is once again raising the gap that he has lowered on a number of occasions, but it just goes away from him, unfortunately. Meanwhile, further down the pack, we have Mythic and TC Gaming in a little bit of a battle of their own. The two Scirocco's of Skippy Motorsports and some other team. I forgot already, excuse me. Regardless, the two are going to be battling out as they go into the bus stop. Continuing through the bus stop, TC has lowered the gap to about 0.4 as Rubber McLaren goes for the overtake on the higher level. And, ooh, that is Mythic. He has spun and struck the pit wall. That is going to cost him a little bit of time and probably a significant amount of damage as he's stuck coming out of the pit lane exit. That is unfortunate to him. Anyways, he's only lost one position, so it's not the end of the world for him. He'll still be able to crawl back said position if he keeps it up. Meanwhile, back up front, Lowy has once again lowered his gap to him down Jen, by about 0.6 seconds as they go for the pass, the back marker of X Hunter. Lowy comes in, Beatsma skids a little bit, going wide. Oh, that is Beatsma spun. He spun. Did a bit of the spinala, and that gives Lowy the lead. I wonder what the issue was. Did he just lose traction or what have you? Anyways, with that gives Lowy first place. dear. That is going to be a DNF for Jens Beatsma. That will give Cantuna the second position and move Rubber up to third unless Beatsma comes back. Hopefully that spin wasn't enough to make him rage quit. I hope it wasn't anything serious. Oh dear. Anyways, continuing on, the current leads here are Lowy P1, Cantuna P2, Rubber P3, and Weber P4, followed by Juan Manuel Gutierrez in P5. Jack Oliver continues to lead the GT2 class by a significant amount of time. He's down 2 laps to the LMPs, but he has a significant gap. He can actually pit, come in, and come out and still be ahead of Eric Axelson with that 45-second lead he has as Lowy moves to get around one of the Ryanairs. And here comes Lowy up on the cockpit of Axelson. And he's not seeming to give Lowy space. I wonder what the issue with that was. Hopefully that didn't touch. Continuing on, Lowy comes through the corners towards the back straight, approaching the bus stop. As we're coming into about our, we're about midway in the race here, and a lot of the field is somewhat spread out, not necessarily any sort of huge gaps, as Jack Oliver has managed to lower the difference down to below 2 laps, down to 1 lap. Of course, you know, it won't be enough, but he is still currently P1 in the GT2. Thank you, Ben Hayes, for the Tier 1 subscription on a 3-month streak. Very good. Congratulations. But Lowy more than likely will be running away with this race until he has to pit again. He has a 10-second lead over Cantuna and 13 seconds behind Tuna as well, so... If anything, the most he's looking to lose is possibly 1, maybe 2 or 3 positions, depending on what happens. But currently, everything is looking set for Lowy to just continue going on. Thank you, Bright Marksman, with your Prime subscription at 5-month streak. Appreciate you. Meanwhile, let's ride on board with our GT2 leader, Jack Oliver, in the Corvette. What happened to Josh? He had some sort of incident and then just left. Not entirely sure why. Hopefully it wasn't anything serious. Lowy and Weber once again are coming in for their pits. That puts Cantuna up ahead into first place. Meanwhile, even though they're not entirely close, Josh Brooks is doing his best to stay right on the tail of Jack Oliver as things continue on. Ah, Josh had a freeze, had disconnect and reconnect. Okay, gotcha. With Weber and Lowy out of the pits, Lowy is down to P3, Weber down to P5. Oliver is pulling out a lead in front of Brooks, even though Brooks is P20 and Oliver is P6, but still, back markers can put up just as good of a fight as front runners, even midfielders, or midfielders even. Regardless, let's ride on board with our current leader, Kaya Cantuna, who is coming into pit again. Interesting. Juan Manuel Gutierrez coming in for their next round of pits. That may give Rubber the lead. Give Rubber the lead he needs to get ahead. As Rubber is coming out of the pit lane here. Where's Lowy? There's Lowy. Lowy is coming around towards the front straight as Cantuna, Rubber, and Juan Manuel Gutierrez are all in the pits. This might give him the lead he needs to get back ahead. But he has to act fast on that, and he does. He's up into P1 as he spins it, puts it almost into the wall. Even regardless of that, he is still ahead as he pulls out ahead of Juan Manuel Gutierrez and continues to hold it going into the horseshoe. Impressive save by Lowy. Hey. Oh. Rubber, meanwhile, is just coming out of the pits here. And that is, oh, what was that? That was X-Hunter spinning into the wall once again. He almost takes out iRedacted. I'm not sure what the issue with that section of track is. Is it just that slippery, or is that just that hard of a corner to turn into? Because we've had GT2 cars, we've had the Corvettes, and we've had the LMP cars all spinning. Wonder what the issue with that is. Anyways, continuing on, Lowy grabs his lead back with only about 5 seconds behind him on Cantuna. And taking a look at the track maps, I do worry there is going to be a number of track crossing violations for the bus stop, which may have a bit of an impediment on the future results, but I will announce the results as they come. Lowy, meanwhile, goes wide once again instead of spinning, which means that'll lower the gap that Cantuna has behind him quite significantly. Meanwhile, Juan Manuel Gutierrez is keeping up with Tuna, even though he's down to P5. All right, on board with Juan Manuel Gutierrez as he's coming around the final corners for the front straight. Getting past the Corvette of Miguel Costa, leaving plenty of space. Gutierrez locks up, keeps it on the track though. This is good on him. Louis, meanwhile, is just, I don't know how he's doing this. He's just finding speed, he's just finding grip and all this stuff, and he's keeping his lead quite significant. He has a 3+ second lead on Kaya Cantuna behind him, and he's doing his best to keep that position and keep that lead as high as he possibly can, which is good on him, very good on him. As they come into the back straight towards the bus stop. Meanwhile, towards the back, Mythic and BD1999 are both going at each other. The two Scirocco's in a little bit of a battle of their own. We'll ride on board with them and just keep the cameras trained on these two for now as they're trading punches. Meanwhile, Axelson and Nike are also trading punches in the Corvettes. But for now, we'll focus on the Scirocco's. Mythic definitely went a little wide. There might have been a breach of track limits, but stewards will have to take a look in that regard. Meanwhile, further up the field, Eric Axelson and Sanil Naik are in a little fight of their own here. The two Corvettes. As we'll head on board with them as they rocket through the bus stop here. Nike has managed to close it down to about a 5-second gap. Axelson, meanwhile, braking hard, giving Nike the advantage he needs to close the gap even closer. Right on board with Senil Nike here. And we have what looks to be either Rubber or Juan Manuel Gutierrez approaching the 2. Switch to a TV camera. It's Rubber as he slides past the 2 back markers. Continuing on. Mike looks to be making the pass, possibly, as we're coming towards the front straight. They're almost neck and neck here. But Axelson blocks him out as they go into the first couple of corners here, keeping it straight, keeping it level and lined. Now we're seeing a similar sort of strategy or sort of driving philosophy with Lowy and Cantu towards the front. That one can outpower the other in the straights, but the other can get them in the corners. And that's what we're seeing here with Nike and Axelson. Axelson can get him on the straights, but Nike can get him in the corners. That's the difference here. Josh Brooks, meanwhile, coming in for his next round of pits. Some great cameras. Thank you, Volkswagen. Very cool. So here's the engine cam of By Mythic with BD 1999 trailing behind. As BD is definitely trying By Mythic to get past whenever he can. By Mythic with the overtake on BD. BD is gonna fight for that position though. As he goes for the pass. Will he complete the pass? That's the real question as we come towards the bus stop. He holds it. He has to go onto the grass, but he still holds that position. As Mythic goes for the overtake, and he does complete the overtake. These two are definitely going to be going at it for a while, that's for sure, as these two are definitely going to keep fighting positions here. As BD takes the position back. They come towards the first couple of corners. It's going to be an outbraking as By Mythic goes in, and he spins it and bins it into the pit wall. Oh, not good, not good. That means BD is going to get ahead as Mythic comes out with Rubber right behind. With rubber pads, it's going to be Juan, Manuel, Gutierrez gaining on the two Scirocco's as they continue to fight it out. Catching up with Sunil and Nike, he and Axelson are still going at it here, which is fantastic. Right on board the rear end cam of Axelson as Nike is slowly approaching to slipstream for the overtake once more. Whether or not they pull it off is anyone's guess. But Nike is getting the slipstream to go past him. It's just whether or not he can time it as Nike goes for the overtake. They're holding it. They're holding it. Whether or not Nike can actually hold it going in. Oh, that's going to put him wide. That's going to put him wide, and that's going to spin him around. The good thing is he'll only lose that position, but he'll also lose a significant amount of time from Axelson. Meanwhile, Josh Brooks at the end of the line is trying to outlaugh himself by overtaking Ricardo as Cantuna puts in the fastest time with a 1:34.391. X-Hunter going into the pits here for his next round of pit stops. Meanwhile, the gap between Mythic and BD 1999 has risen once again to about half a second, but he'll make it back up on the corners as they go through the bus stop with Weber right behind them. Weber with the overtake. The two will continue duking it out as they come across the line here on the front straight. It's just going to be down to whether or not they can't mess up the corner, and it looks like it. Two come in, they keep it nice, they keep it clean. None of them bend it into the pin wall. Brooks, meanwhile, doing his best to unlap Daniel Ricciardo. Daniel Ricciardo behind in the Scirocco with Brooks ahead. It was going good for Brooks, but then he had some issues, and that dropped him pretty much to the back of the line. So hopefully hopefully some sort of miracle will get him further up the grid, but we'll see as time goes on. Ricardo, meanwhile, up here in ninth position with the Volkswagen Scirocco. Redacted, meanwhile, coming in for his next round of pits here in the GT2 class. No, sorry, is it the GT2 class? It is. Okay. Anyways, back to Ricardo. As Ricardo just kisses the apexes through the bus stop. Very nice work. Senil Nike, meanwhile, is coming in for his pit. We'll get a quick interview with him real quick. Senil, just a couple of quick words. How's your race been going so far?
Hello.
Hello.
I can hear you. It's pretty shit.
Well, I will say that you've been doing a good job, especially that battle with Eric Axelson has been fantastic to watch over here.
Yeah, it was pretty fun. I missed the Connie, and I had to start from the back, so it's been a grind.
It has been a grind, and hopefully you can continue grinding further up, and we'll let you get back to the race. Have fun.
Sure.
That was Senil Nike with the Ryanair team. Moving back up towards the front of the grid, we have our good pal Loey here, who has a 4.2 second gap here. But you already knew that, so we're going to go to something a little more interesting, which is Mythic and BD 1999's continuous battle as they continue to trade punches with the Scirocco's. They're definitely coming really, really close. Very, very nice wheel-to-wheel stuff. As Loey approaches the two, so it's going to be not just two cars fighting, but three cars fighting. Alright, Loey give him the flash, goes for the pass. A little bit of slipstream on by Mythic, and he's through. Just slow down to throw it through the bus stop. They're back out and through. A little wide on the exit, but no matter. Jack Oliver, meanwhile, is in the pits. We're going to get a word from him. We definitely have to get a word from him. So, Jack Oliver, some quick words for you while you're in your pits. You are currently leading the GT2 class, and you've been doing it for pretty much most of the race. How are you feeling so far?
Pretty good. I'm actually just eating something right now. Yeah, I'm feeling pretty good.
Well, I'm glad to hear that. Do you think even with the gap that you have, do you still think you'll be able to hold off your compatriots behind you?
Yeah, did you hear me or?
No, I didn't. You cut yourself
sorry.
off.
Well, I actually do not know how far back they are behind me, so I actually don't really know, but I think I have a comfortable lead, so I guess I can hold it. Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll let you get back to the race, and hopefully be able to bring home P1 in the GT2. Have fun.
Thanks.
All right. So that was Jack Oliver, our current GT2 leader with Bra Racing. Very clever name. as he comes out just with just a 2.8 second gap behind him, with Eric Axelson as the sun begins to rise here. Meanwhile, we have what looks to possibly be a nice three-way battle here between Miguel Costa and the Scirocco's of By Mythic, BD 1999, and Josh Brooks. Even though he has quite a significant gap behind him, it's going to be a nice 3-4-way battle here. So let's switch to By Mythic. As the sun begins to rise. By Mythic is getting a bit of a slipstream off of Miguel Costa and the Corvette. And ooh! Costa went hard on the brakes and came into the pits. That's a little dangerous, but not entirely the worst thing in the world. Josh Brooks here in the River Racing as BD 1999 and Lucas Faber are all trying to get past him here. If Faber gets the pass from BD, whether or not Josh will get in the pass is we'll see here as we come towards the next horseshoe. And Faber outbreaks Brooks, goes a little wide, but he still gives him the space. I do have to say this has been quite an interesting mixture of times and gaps here as we come towards the final half hour of the race. It's been fun so far, but remember, it ain't over yet. Eric Axelson, meanwhile, coming in for his pit. Wow. Okay. Oh. Hello. Here's me. Hi. Oh God, where am I? There am I. Meanwhile, back at our current favorite battle here with By Mythic and BD 1999, still going at it, left, right, and center. But another one is Josh and BD and By Mythic all going at it here in the Scirocco's here, so it should be a nice little battle here. Brooks actually leading the two, yet in terms of position and timing is actually behind the two, which is interesting in itself, but it is what it is. As they go for the break into the bus stop, excuse me, I was about to say pits, but no, that's TC Gaming in the pits. As Josh opens up a lead over the two Scirocco's, By Mythic and BD continue to go at it. BD, meanwhile, gets the lead over By Mythic, but he probably won't hold that for long as we go into the first corner. By Mythic going low and wide And he takes it, outbraking BD. Both of them seem to go a little bit wide, but he's still holding it despite going into the grass a little bit. And with that, BD takes the position back. With Lowy coming up right behind him, it's going to be a matter of whether or not Lowy will give him the space, or they'll give Lowy the space. So all the time you have to leave a space. As Lowy has quite a significant advantage, he's flashing lights and everything to get past him. Whether or not he'll be able to get past him, it looks like it. So these two Scirocco's can go back to battling each other out. Excuse me. Weber, meanwhile, seems to be having a bit of an issue. He's running low on fuel. Either that or he's already refueled. It looks like he's already refueled. No, he's stopping for his pit. Emergency pit. Let's pull him in for a quick thing. So, Weber, I'm being told by race control you're coming in for an emergency pit because of fuel. What's going on?
Yes, I'm at 0.4 liters of fuel, but that's actually completely part of my strategy.
It's part of your strategy to run on emergency fuel?
No. I still could go full power.
Alright,
But
well...
my energy is on point. I have a full tank now that will more than be enough.
Well, hopefully you'll be able to use that strategy. We're less than a half hour till the end, and you're still looking great in the position, so hopefully you'll be able to bring in a podium finish.
Yeah, thank you. I'm relying on your luck.
I'll try my best, man. Enjoy the race. And that was the always great Lucas Weber of Poor Energy, as he goes for the pass on Nike. Rubber and Lowy, meanwhile, in a bit of a race of themselves, as Lowy seems to have... Oh dear, what's going on there? What's going on? He is tangled with Daniel Ricciardo. Ooh, that's not good. Yeah, Lowy and Daniel Ricciardo have touched, which means that'll give Rubber the gap he needs. Meanwhile, Kaya Cantuna, albeit he hasn't pit yet, has a 43-second lead on Rubber, so theoretically, if he does pit, he'll more than likely continue to hold said position. As Tuna comes in for said pit, we're going to go on board with Rubber and the McLaren and follow him for now. As Rubber rockets through the bus stop in his McLaren, gets a little bit of air as he comes towards the back marker of X-Hunter 11, bringing up the rear of the field in his Scirocco. And he goes for the pass. Rubber, meanwhile, goes a little bit wide, trying to attempt a pass, but Rubber's also coming in for the pits, which will put Lowy ahead as he rockets around. Cantuna, however, seems to still be in the pits as Hunter brakes hard and goes wide. Lowy, meanwhile, has retaken the lead of Cantuna as he's just coming out of the pits. Buccio, meanwhile, is also coming into the pits for his pit. Excuse me. More than likely, this strategy will mean these are their last... These more than likely will be their last pits of the race, so they have to make these strategies work and they have to carry it to the end. Last thing we want to do is see someone coasting. Lowy rocketing through the bus stop here. And coming out of the corners towards the front stretch. Is approaching one of the Ryanair back markers. I'm guessing it's probably Nike. And it does not. It is. Alright, it is Nike. So he's going to go for the pass on Nike. He's passed. Meanwhile, Wilson and Axelson are in a bit of a battle of their own here. Even though Wilson is down to 14th and Axelson is up to P7, they're still right behind each other, as BD1999 is also trying Jake Wilson. But out of everyone, Lowy is the one that's coming right behind. Slowly goes to the pass, goes wide. Costs him a little bit of time. Jake Wilson just lightly nudges the wall as he squeezes past. By Mythic and iRedacted in a little bit of a battle of their own here. Another pair of Scirocco's, both fighting for it as Redacted goes deep and takes the position. There we go. iRedacted, meanwhile, opening up a bit of a lead on By Mythic, but By Mythic will be able to more than likely get him back at the bus stop. We'll see as things go on. Meanwhile, Cantuna's getting caught up in the back markers. More than likely, they'll just be able to swing it around. And does. There we go. That's a nice shot right there. Cantuna approaching Axelson as he goes just to tail him for a little bit before going for the pass. And does it. Meanwhile, back towards here, we have iRedacted, By Mythic, and Wilson all fighting for position here. Just a little bit of gaps behind them. It's 3 Scirocco's and 1 Corvette, all fighting for it. We're right on board in the middle with Justin Wilson here in the Scuderia Bocom Corvette. Wilson looks like he's gonna try for a pass. Mythic's doing his best to block him as they're all approaching the bus stop. And he outbrakes him. They do touch a little bit, which means that Mythic retains his position, but not for long as Wilson goes to pass him up on the outside. This looks like BD is also trying to go for a pass too, and looks to be completing it. As him and Mythic are both fighting here for positions. But they're going to try contesting it into the first corner. Mythic locks up, goes a little wide, but he'll do his best to hold it. And he does. Somewhat, but also meanwhile... There we go. You can see a nice view of the two Scirocco's battling it out. Excuse me, from back here. Oh, that's Wilson going wide. That's Wilson going wide. Yep, that is him spinning and going wide. So we'll move back up to BD 1999 and Mythic's little battle here. Honestly, it's been one of the more interesting head-to-head battles here, even though it's really towards more the midfield. But you know, position is position, points is points. As they're going to keep trying to duke it out as we approach the bus stop. Meanwhile, has set a new fastest lap, a 1:34.197, showing that Lowy, in fact, is taking no prisoners. He's going to win this race. Looks to be pretty much in his hands, but anything can happen. Speaking of our race leader, we're going to switch to following Lowy for a little bit as he battles it out through some black... I said it again. Back markers. Excuse me. As we're coming into the final 15 minutes of our little endurance race, as he goes for the pass on TC Gaming, and he gets the pass. He's through. Lowy, meanwhile, coming up on Labiak and going past as he continues across the front straight going into the first corners. Is he coming up on another back marker here? That's enough appreciation for Lowy. Let's move back to the battle we've been keeping a close eye on, I Redacted and BD1999, as one of the McLarens is on his way to, that's Rubber. That's Rubber trying to make his way through. And Rubber goes for the pass and executes said pass. And BD moves up to regain the position, but Redacted is going to continue fighting it. Now they're going to fight it out going into the first corner. They don't touch, they give each other plenty of space, but they continue to fight it out. And fight it out they do, but they're going to have to give way to Sanil Naik, who is approaching them in the Ryanair Corvette, who's going to want to try and get past them. He's past I Redacted. Now it's down to whether or not BD will give him some space, as Redacted goes a little wide there. Knight goes through. Which will give BD1999 the advantage he needs to stay ahead of I Redacted, as the gap climbs to 1.9 seconds, 2 seconds actually. Meanwhile, By Mythic and Jake Wilson are in a little battle of their own here. Jake Wilson in the Corvette, By Mythic in the Volkswagen Scirocco. We're right on board with Wilson here in the Scuderia Bocum Corvette. And he's going for the overtake on the upper level. And he's passed. By Mythic is going to use that pass, however, to slipstream his way and hopefully try getting past coming into the first corner here. Wilson hard on the brakes. Mythic cutting the grass a little bit, but keeping a close eye behind them as Weber is approaching the two. Hopefully he'll be able to get past without any issue. Weber goes, moves past Mythic, moves past Wilson. Not Mythic, I meant Redacted, excuse me. No, I do mean Mythic. What am I thinking? Alright, well. Wilson and Mythic going to the next horseshoe. Goes Lowy, slipping past the two. Pretty much like they're not even there. As we come into the final 10 minutes of this race. Current standings go as follow. Lowy P1, Cantuna P2, Rubber P3 in the LMP class. For the GT class, we have Jack Oliver P6, Eric Axelson P7, Sanil Naik P8, And Mythic spins it a little wide there as Cantuno's looking to get past, and he does. And I'll be riding right on the tail of Jake Wilson coming towards the backstretch towards the bus stop, and he goes to pass. Doesn't even think twice about it. Josh Brooks, meanwhile, is coming in once again for a pit. Okay, Kansuna approaching BD 1999 for the pass, and he's through. A lot of these times, the LMP drivers, when they go past these cars, they don't even think twice about it, because they know they have to give them the space. They're going to give them the space. It's just a matter of how they give them the space. That's the real question. More than likely, it's done with. I shouldn't be yawning, it's 4 o'clock in the afternoon, but apologies. Lowy, meanwhile, cruising past 70 laps here, as he pretty much will be our race winner unless things change in the next 6 minutes, as he goes past Eric Axelson, our current GT leader. Sorry, no, not our GT leader. That's Jack Oliver. So it seems that Lowy more than likely will be taking home the title today, and definitely will be running away with the win here after a fantastic record-breaking qualifying session. There was a couple of chances where him being P1 wasn't considered an idea, but it looks to be the case. His corner cutting, meanwhile, is admittedly a little questionable, but I'm no steward. Meanwhile, moving back down the grid, I Redacted and Jake Wilson are in a little bit of a battle of their own, Corvette and the Scirocco, as they're all on the approach for BD 1999. As Wilson slides past, Redacted's going to use that slipstream to try getting past the Corvette. He's closing that gap very well, getting right on the tail end of the Corvette. And hopefully he'll use that slipstream to get around the Scirocco. Jake Wilson, meanwhile, makes a move past BD 1999. We'll ride on board with Redacted going into the first corner here. Wilson goes wide, Redacted goes through, and there you go. Redacted brakes hard to avoid hitting BD on the back. switch to broadcaster for a second. I want to set up the finish line camera, so excuse me for the shoddy editing here. Not editing, but camera work. There we go. Daytona, Daytona. There we go. Oh. Meanwhile, Wilson falling behind once again. He's going to have to claw back that as BD and I Redacted are going to keep trading punches for these final couple of minutes. Redacted moves into the lead. They break hard going in. BD goes wide, but not enough to let Wilson through. Oh, hell, oh, what was that? That's BD 1999. He spun. That's gonna cost him the sort of the race that he had going with him. So it's unfortunate. Moving up to the little battle with I Redacted, and Wilson will ride back on board with him as him and Redacted will be battling it out, coming on to the back straight towards the bus stop. To break it out, going through the bus stop here. Wilson is going to be riding right on the tail of I Redacted for the overtake. And it looks like Wilson is just slightly getting past Redacted as we round the front stretch across the finish line, as we're down into the final minute. I Redacted outbreaks Wilson to go through, and if he's lucky, he'll be able to hold that position to the end. Meanwhile, as we come into the final 30 seconds of the race, we'll come on board with Lowy as he comes around for what will be his final lap of the race today. So this will be our onboard with Lowy as we go into the 75th and final lap of the race. Now, I have to say this has been an absolutely fantastic race, and I'm glad I've been able to do commentary for this and the previous race at Road America, and hopefully there'll be more in the future. and it's been fantastic being here for this race. But right now, here he comes. It's Lowy to cross the line in first place. Following right behind him is Kaya Cantuna, who will become P2 with a P2, and Rubber 9 will be P3. Meanwhile, in the GT class, Jack Oliver comes home P1 in that regard. Here comes Eric Axelson to bring up P2 in the GT class. Nike, meanwhile, will also be bringing home the fastest lap in the GT2 class, so that'll be something interesting, that's for sure. So with that, Lowy, Cantuna, and Rubber are top 3 in the LMP class. Jack Oliver, Eric Axelson, Sanil Naik, those are our top 3 in the GT class. Now we're gonna run a quick advertisement, and we'll be back with post-race interviews very shortly. Stay tuned. So just stand by. We'll be getting the interviews here very shortly. Alright, so for starters, Lowy, I have to say congratulations on not only a record-breaking qualifying, but a fantastic first-place win. You must be very happy about that.
Yeah. I'm just sad that Jens actually dropped out. He had problems with his foot. So... But I'm looking forward to battling him in the Arches 12-hour race.
Yeah, I think it will be fantastic. I do have to say I did quite enjoy you and Jens going back and forth in the race, even if the back markers might have been a little bit of an issue, but still I think it was a fantastic race throughout.
Yeah, I got a bit unlucky with back markers in the second stint, but in the end it was all good.
All right, well, thank you very much. I hope you enjoy your first place win, and hopefully we'll see you at the next one.
Yep, thank you.
All right, thank you. All right, so that was our first place winner, Lowy. Next, we'll move to it's Dirty. I don't think we can. Alright, so I don't think we'll be able to talk to our second place guy, so we'll move on to Rubber. Alright, so Rubber, unfortunately, we won't be able to talk to our second place one, but you are our third place man. You must feel quite happy about that.
Yes. Yeah, that was. I didn't really expect it. There was a big gap, but then Jens retires because he had a problem with his leg or foot or something.
Yeah, he had a problem with his calf or something. But I do have to say, you put up a fantastic race pace, and you put up a fantastic drive throughout, and hopefully you'll be able to be on the podium at the next race.
Yeah, this result I was very satisfied with.
Alright, well, thank you very much for your time, and enjoy the rest of your day, man.
Yeah, thank you.
Alright, so that will be our LMP interviews. We'll move on now to our post-race interviews, starting with, I think it was, yeah, Jack Oliver. So, Jack Oliver, our reigning GT2 champion for this race, you must feel pretty happy about that.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy about it, but I did quite a lot of mistakes during the race, so I'm a bit annoyed with that, but overall I'm pretty happy with it. Like, it's my first race in the league, so yeah, pretty happy.
Well, still, taking first place in your first race in your league, well, not in your league, but in your class, must be fantastic.
Well, it's cool, but Josh had problems during the race, so I was expecting a battle with him, but he just like had issues with he crashed at the start and that had engine issues or a computer issue, so yeah, it kind of left me on my own on front. So yeah, but I'm pretty happy about it. Yeah.
Well, I'm glad. Hopefully you'll be able to maybe take home a first place at the next race, or even more battle with Josh at the next race. But other than that, hope to see you at the next race, and hope you have a good rest of your day, man.
Yeah, thanks, you too.
Thanks. All right, so that was Jack. We'll move down to. Okay, apparently we don't have Eric Axelson, so we'll go past that guy. And Saniel will be our last interviewee. So, all right. So Saniel, unfortunately, we weren't able to get the second place guy. So P3 in the GT2 class. You must be very happy about that.
Yeah, I think it's pretty decent damage limitation because like I had it qualified and I started from the back, so I'm kind of glad with the result.
Well, I'm glad you were still able to come home with a great result despite the setbacks. You think you'd be able to put yourself into podium contention for the next race?
I think so. I would like to think so, yeah.
All right,
it's
well...
at Fuji, I guess, right?
Yeah, like Fuji.
I think I need to practice on that track. I haven't driven there before.
It's a technical track, I can tell you that from experience.
Yeah.
Alright, well, regardless, it's great to see you up on the podium, and hopefully you'll be able to bring home a podium finish next time. Other than that, have a good rest of your day.
See ya.
And with that, that brings a close to our interviews here. So I'd like to thank all of you very much for watching, and I'd like to thank a lot of you for tuning into this fantastic race. Our next AF2 race will be... Sorry, I'm doing things all over here. Our next AF2 race will be in Bahrain on March 20th. Tune in at 19:30 GMT. It'll be a great hour and a half race with 15-minute qualifying, and we hope to see you there. Until then, have a very good rest of your day, have a good, safe day, and hopefully you have a good rest of your weekend. Until then, thank you very much for watching.